Hello, and welcome to the show. My name is John, this is Celtic Knots, and we begin this week with a pair of haiku poems from Elora. Unlikely allies facing the consequence of an ill-timed hunt's trail. Too late will they learn that fate has disaster plans, though the birds are fine. If you'd like to see my work, you can visit me on Twitter at CoffeeRobot. But for now, please enjoy the show.
Well, that was not working. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's stream of Celtic Knot. We're going to be playing some more Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and I am super excited to be returning to the game. We left off at quite an interesting point, so I'm going to minimize myself and turn my sound on so my friends can hear me again. But we'll go through some announcements and talk about some new things we'll be introducing today and get into the show.
Hey, wave.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello.
So, let's see. What are some new things to talk about today for announcements? You'd think I would write this stuff down, but I've just been trying to remember it. So, we had an intro today, and it was done by John Coffee Robot. Thank you so much, John, for reading the haiku. It was very good. And we're going to be reading you more haikus every episode. Hopefully it becomes a thing, and I really can't wait to see what some of our players come up with. It's gonna be so good. Other news. So I mentioned briefly that today I'll be introducing something different to the table. And so one way that I want to play this game differently than how I have played some Dungeons and Dragons is that I want to hand out a lot of inspiration and have a lot of mechanics in place for that. And one way that we're going to be doing this at the table is using inspiration like charges. Some D&D shows have done this very well, I think, and at our table we are going to have something called divine inspiration. And because this world is so tied into magic and the deities and everything, it's going to be really fun to see how exactly this plays out. But with divine inspiration, when you use that's really cute, Laura.
Sorry.
When you use your two of your inspirations, then you can change fate in a dramatic way, in a manner that ties in with your patron. So I'm not going to go into it more than that, but when someone wants to try it out in the coming games, then we'll talk about it more.
Yahoo!
Yeah. And you
That
guys
sounds cool.
will get to ask me lots of questions about it. So
I look forward to using it without knowing how it works.
yeah, exactly. It's Dungeons and Dragons, guys.
I look forward to getting lots of inspiration charges.
Yes.
Mhm.
So let's go around the table real quick before we have our recap and just say our names and the pronouns we use. So I'm DM Irish, and my pronouns are she, her. I also go by Michaela or Mac or McBoost42, because we at this table have so many names.
We have so many names.
We have so many names. And I'm going to start us off at the top of our list with Caltranon, aka Dweebus McGee.
Hello, yes. I am Cal or Caldranon or Dweebus McGee. The name on my birth certificate is Andrew, but whatever. My pronouns are he, him. My character's name is Whippoorwill, and his pronouns are also he, him.
Thank you. Next up, we have Tirthon.
Hey, I'm Terathon. I don't have a ton of names. And my character is Sparks, and he goes by he, him, as I do as well.
Thank you. Shiny.
My name is Shiny. I have she, her. I'm playing Aurora Wildheart. She's an Eladrin wizard, invention wizard, and she also uses she, her.
Why, thank you. Doctor. You're muted.
Muted. Can't hear you.
Still muted.
Luckily, I can read lips. Hold on.
Hi, my name's Doctor. I like cheese.
Cheese is
I
really
don't
the
like
only
cheese
thing I have
that
feelings
much,
about.
but it's not bad.
If cheese was a person,
Let's
I
go
would
out. Oh my god.
It worked
I'll
literally
keep-
2 seconds
help.
ago.
That's so weird.
No.
Yeah, we can't hear you, bud.
Yeah, we can't hear anyone else. So,
Was that
well-
a yes? What is this shit?
Maybe we
That
should
was
go out to
crazy.
other people and then come back to Doctor.
yeah, so, Cupcake, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm really enjoying this. Hey, I'm El Ninja Cupcake. Cupcake is fine. I use she, her. I am playing Beltol, the Grave Domain Kanku cleric that everyone else is calling Bong. And they don't really have a pronoun, so they will respond to pretty much anything.
All right, thank you. Alora.
Can you hear me now?
A
Yes!
little bit.
Okay, I don't know what happened. I just turned the mic to a different mic and it came back.
Okay.
Well,
I'm Doctor. He, him. I'm playing Inoki Billet, who is a Myconid druid, and they are they, them.
Right on. Now, back to Alora again.
It me. I'm Alora, also known as Tiny White Girl, and I'll be playing Seripides Nowhere, a tiefling rogue. That's it.
Alrighty.
That's all you get.
That's all she wrote.
Good day, sir.
Rin.
Good.
So I'm Rin Pond, pronouns she, her. Character is Deirdre Rhiannon, and pronouns are also she, her.
Alright, thank you.
And I guess you could call me the dancing bard because I am a dancing bard. I don't know.
Woohoo. Character nicknames, even.
Ooh.
That's like a new level of
All
many
right.
names.
So you guys have 2 weeks to level up with me.
Damn it.
So, I would like to give inspiration to whoever wants to participate in recapping our last episode from our audio only episode. Any
I don't remember the
volunteers?
end of it very well.
I
Wow!
remember most of
We-
it.
Do I
I
get?
I would re-listen to the episode and I didn't. I'm real sorry. I got busy.
I can
Okay.
recap.
Okay.
And that'll double as a benefit for me since I could use that inspiration.
Yeah, you could.
Uh,
Right now, you could actually,
Yeah?
if I remember correctly.
Quite so.
sparks of inspiration.
So at the beginning of last episode, we encountered a the what is he? The guy with the mask, the wooden mask.
Druid type guy, right?
Yeah,
Some kind of druid forest guardian thing.
and he told us that we needed to leave the meadows and move on and leave the area. And so we told him we'd leave by sunup, and we did, and started traveling north along the coastline. And then we ran into a grove of very interesting mushrooms, some of them very large, and some people that were enjoying them. And that's where we met our dancing bard and also our Myconid And they have now joined us. And the bard wanted to show us the ruins that were north, as she was interested in exploring them. And so we were headed north anyway, so we followed her up there. And at that point, we ran into the druid type wooden mask. Was like a totem warrior kind of guy again. And he told us that he wanted us to go into the ruins to see if we could claim these flowers that were. Does anyone remember the description of the flowers exactly? I remember they were yellow.
They were
like
golden, small, and like fluffy.
Feathery?
Feathery.
Yeah,
Feathery,
feathered
right.
was the word.
And
Fluffy's a good word, though.
Calderon tried to be golden, small, and feathery, but it just didn't count. And so we did have to go into the ruins. And we got into the ruins a little way, had to beat up some twigs, and this tree shot noodles at us. And then
the noodles.
Sparks was, well, the birds approached this central area and realized that there was something there that was not good. And Sparks didn't really get the hint and just kept going. And now he is very close to death and entangled with these vines. And that's where we are now.
Ooh.
Indeed, that was excellent. So go ahead and take an inspiration. Does anyone have anything else to add?
There was some very good dancing as part of the mushroom adventure. And
There was a drum that played itself, which unnerved several people, and there were flower crowns that were not necessarily handed out before things popped off.
Yeah.
I'm wearing
Yeah, and we got to meet two more
Those
of our
fancy
players.
golden flowers were near a statue of a god whose name I wrote down and then forgot in my brain. Belinus. There it is.
Yes.
And so we're still trying to figure out how to interact with those because we're trying to see if we can claim them.
Yeah, didn't we see one of the flowers on like the statue or the pillar in front of us?
There are 3 in the front
all
of
three
it.
of them are around the statue, kind of surrounded by vines and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
so
the vines are hungry.
Yeah.
We've reached our destination then. I might have reached my final destination, actually.
Okay, so do we feel like that was a sufficient recap? Do we want to make you suffer more, seeing how well your notes are?
Which more?
Yeah. It's not good enough. You gotta.
But Mom.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going for. You're muted again, Doctor.
You might
Oh
have
boy.
to pantomime the whole episode, sorry.
This is because he was talking about how he uses a specific mic because it's
Yes,
Mm.
that's true. You know, you should.
How about if I use this
should-
mic?
Okay, I noticed a difference in sound quality.
Now you're all muted.
Oh, look at that.
I think you
Yeah.
should
better. Get out of your system now.
disable the second mic so you only
Oh, he rage
have
quit.
one mic
I just broke
to
things.
choose from. This is fine, guys. I mean,
Birds are
it's
fine.
very
The
on
birds are
brand. I gotta
Like,
have.
literally, that's our team name. The birds are fine.
Uh-huh.
Well, you guys did need a team name or something like that.
Something
So,
of an ornithological nature.
Yes.
The viewers have access to the map too of the world, right?
they do in that top left corner, Majiggy. Yeah. Was someone asking you about it? Because I could
No, I
make
was
it
just
bigger.
going to mention that if they could actually see the map in detail, we are in the ruins of Borth. For those
yes.
map-ish people.
Yes, currently we are in the ruins of Borth, just north of the easternmost side of. What's the the island itself's name. You're along the Lear Road.
Gwyneth? Gwyneth?
Yeah, Gwyneth. There you go.
Gwyneth.
Gwyneth. I should actually pull up the map too, guys. It's a good reminder. Hey, no, it's not. Nope.
He's working on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Lovely.
Okay.
Oh boy, can we?
Oh boy.
I think
Thank
this
you.
will be a running joke for chapter 3.
The audio guy that doesn't know how to do audio? Yep.
And
You're
it's
doing great.
bound to
Hit
happen.
me.
How many? What's the percentage of my streams that start with just like 20 minutes of technological bandages?
Is 100%
it's-
a percentage?
Yeah,
It's like
100.
80% of most streams anybody hosts. So,
Yeah, it's yes. This is a safe place to fail, guys. We're fine.
Mhm.
Okay,
It's
so
all fine. The birds are fine.
the birds are
Yeah,
fine.
but the mushroom isn't. The
No.
mushroom is jacked.
So, when last we saw our heroes, everybody was kind of everyone was kind of spread out and about, kind of cautiously circling around and beginning to go down this stone ruins amphitheater towards the statue that's covered in crawling and creeping vines with these beautiful gold and feathery flower blossoms just kind of smattered throughout. You have been tasked with bringing back the flowers, but it seems that all is not well. So, from Sparks' perspective, all he wanted to do was to go to these flowers. They were just beautiful and tantalizing, and it was that smell that you smell it and you don't really know what it is, but you want to smell it again, and he just had to know more. And so he walked up to them, and as he was reaching out, he perceived that tendrils of these vines went and wrapped around him and brought him into an embrace, and he began to bleed from the nose as he took, what was it, 15 points?
psychic
13
damage.
psychic damage, yeah. So, from the rest of the party's perspective, what Sparks did not know is that he was not engulfed in any vines. In fact, it was just one frond that kind of uncurled and just brushed against him. And the expression on his face is kind of checked out, and yeah, he is beginning to bleed, and he has not moved away at all.
So there are very visible signs that he was harmed. It's just not what he thought it was, not what he was made to perceive.
Yes, but you guys also don't know what he perceived.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, obviously, as a player, I would like my fellow player to not die, but if Whip wouldn't have any reason to think he needs healing, he wouldn't
Oh,
have
you
a
can
valid
tell.
excuse.
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't as dramatic as getting like an arm chopped off, but it was an immediate physical
Mhm.
external response as well.
Does it look like I'm being restrained or just like standing still?
You feel like you are restrained,
Can
but
I-
it
To
looks
the
like you're
party.
just standing there.
Can
So
I
I
roll
guess
a
maybe,
perception
like-
to see if I see it?
Yeah, so I'll give you guys all a free round, and then we will jump back into our initiative from last game. So next up will be Aurora. But you guys can have one free round to go in whatever order before we jump back in.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna roll a perception. Nope.
I'm gonna do me a cure wounds on that there Sparks.
Okay.
I got a
Okay.
16 on perception.
I rolled the best number on my 1d8. So have 4 hit points.
You've got a wrong definition of the best.
Could I use
The best if you want it
are we
to
not
fail.
playing? Are we not playing D&D golf?
Uh-huh. What were you gonna say, Truthon?
Can I use an inspiration to help him re-roll that dice?
I was about to say, sure, why not? And then I was like, but wait, what will the later consequences be for this? So no, you can only use your inspiration to reroll 20s. Yeah.
But if I rolled a 20, I wouldn't want to re-roll.
No, a 20-sided dice, a D20.
I would call you a cheater.
I wouldn't say anything.
No, cheating. Oh no, I won't. But I trust you.
Okay,
and
so
if you
4 hit
break
points
that
and
trust,
Yeah,
you'll die.
it's not nothing.
And that is what I had for health before.
Yeah,
so
so
this is an
I
improvement.
mean, really,
You're doubled.
you are at
Actually, he
more than half
tripled
health.
recurring health points.
It's true. Oh, so you did a cure wounds, you did a perception, and you got a 16 on your perception Serpides, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you... Tell me how you would be looking at this. I would like to...
So, I think Seripides would sort of, I mean, obviously something's going on that she isn't as easily able to percept going on. So I think she would kind of like really focus in and try to see, not focus so much on Sparks, but just like around and sort of like where he was going and what touched him, and just kind of see if I can figure out the general area of where what's bugging him is.
Yeah. Okay, so you're like really looking at this plant and trying to decipher what it is exactly and what is going on. And I am sending to the Celtic Nut player chat, if I can get it to load, what it is that you are looking at. It does not want to do the thing.
Are your files too powerful?
I guess so. Wait, here. There's
I've been getting that a
so
lot.
much blood. Blood.
Your beef's strong.
Blood. Okay, here we go. So, along with some of the ivy and vines, you are able to discern this plant as being a separate entity. And you can see that one of the curling tendrils coming from a vine just underneath the flowers is kind of wrapping unwrapping itself and is just kind of caressing Sparks. In this picture you see different colored flowers, but there are only the gold ones.
Okay. Could I communicate, can I communicate this to everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh,
Oh, you
bless you.
guys, this flower is not what it looks like at all. It's stroking Sparks and it's making him sick. Right there.
I think he's just being efficient. I mean, there are better places to let the fluids from, but if he wants to get a head start, I'm okay with this.
He's leaking from the wrong place for it to be that.
Humans leak from everywhere.
I agree.
Humans leak from everywhere.
True.
I smell the blood. I don't think they pee blood. They shouldn't anyways. That's not healthy.
It's true. I don't think that's a thing they should.
I don't think I often see the healthy ones.
See your doctor.
So I'm just really entertained by this side of Beltol of Bong.
Bong.
Bong. Bong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. I mean, Beltol knows nothing about these flowers in conjunction with this goddess.
No.
She's a sunshine warmth goddess.
This doesn't feel very sunshiny and warm.
Not for you, maybe.
I feel
Lance
like you
having a
would
great
see
time.
cats down here.
Like you
Eat
would
cats?
cats?
She's the goddess of sunshine and warmth. Is this like not like key cat territory?
You have an excellent point.
Yeah,
Where are the janks?
Is-
technically Aurelia is around here.
That's a good point.
It's
My
true.
mechanical.
What is she doing?
Probably laying in a sunbeam somewhere. Yeah, she sort of just follows me around, unless I need her for something. She's more friend than useful.
Well, on that note, let us go to Aurora's turn in this initiative cycle. So, what would you like to do in this space?
Well, based on what Serpides said, I think she might want to check and see if there's anything, like if there's something wrong with the plant, if there's anything like magically wrong with it, if it's cursed or boogied or something in some way. If I can do like an Arcana check or something.
Yeah, absolutely. How close are you getting?
Oh Jesus. Not that close. She's seen people get blasted. She doesn't want to get close.
Oh. Oh dear. So,
Ruin the stream.
oh, that did really ruin the stream.
And everybody's dead.
I don't know what
Not
happened
what
there,
we're supposed
folks.
to do when the DM leaves. Aren't we supposed to get points?
Wait,
No,
what?
it's like when the teacher leaves, we gotta go home early.
It's true.
I think we're back.
We're
up and
done,
running.
guys.
The stream looks good.
Okay.
So we killed the plant while you were
yeah,
done
yeah, we killed it and
Wow. Very
Yeah,
efficient.
and won. Solved the
won.
puzzle.
All the birds are fine.
No.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing? I actually do want to know.
Aurora would stay still over that 30 feet or yards or whatever it is away that people keep getting blasted at. So whatever she can tell from a distance, probably.
Okay. So from a distance, I believe I said there were 3 blossoms, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, the statue itself is fairly tall, but the vines really don't stretch up that high, and you can see that they appear to not have like an intended purpose there. Like it's not like there was a garden around the statue. These kind of like cracked up through the stone, and just grew around and kind of wrapped around it. And it doesn't seem like there's more than just that one little section of fronds that are reaching for sparks. The rest of them seem to be at rest still.
And is Spark still like close to the plants then, or did he try to get away or anything?
He is still right against them, so just like in the block adjacent to them, so within just a couple feet.
There's not a lot that she can do with this information right now. You know, she might just say, it looks like Sparks is not doing very well. If there's, you know, any, maybe somebody can help him from a distance. The best I could do is shoot him with my magic, and that's not going to help. And I don't. So that'd be the gist of it right now.
Okay. Next on initiative will be Inoki, and then Cerebrides, Whistle, Belto, and Deirdre. I figured I'd just tell you guys instead of letting you guess when you go. Yeah, so Inoki.
Oh no.
It happened again.
What?
Sorry, bud.
Oh, his muted.
At least your
no.
watch looks great.
That is a classy watch.
I heard a thank you. I actually heard thank
You
you.
heard it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why it keeps doing this. I'm so confused. Anyway, how close am I to? I think I'm next to where the birds were.
Yeah, you did go within 30 feet because you had to make the save as well. And Sparks was riding in on top of you.
Or there. I'm perceiving kind of the same thing that everyone else is, that this thing, it did something to Sparks. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to throw an ice knife at it.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack.
17.
Okay, that definitely does hit. The plant makes no attempt to dodge out of the way. How much damage do you do to it?
It's a 1d10. And that's
Okay.
a 5.
Okay, so you manage to kind of stab into one of the vines, and you see it kind of shrivel up a little bit, and it like cuts through the vine, so half of it just falls limp, just barely hanging on. So you've done a good bit, but there's just so much plant.
I gotta finish reading the spell. So then there's also a.
There are consequences for your actions.
No, but I'm.
No.
It says +5 to hit for ice knife, but then when I click on the spell,
And there he goes.
so
again.
that's okay. So
Mike's
it's got to make
cutting in and
a.
out now.
It's cutting in and out every your interjections, like, so that's show up, but then everything you say before and after is disappearing. It's probably fine if you switch to the helicopter headphones, Mike. That way we can at least hear you, because that's what we care about.
Yeah, this last time it's almost like the sensitivity or just it's just not picking up a lot.
Yeah, speaking of
so-
which, yours is doing great, Tirthan.
While he's figuring the tech side out, yeah. So I also Whip also has a nice ice knife prepared, so I can fill you in
Okay.
on the rest of the spell.
Oh,
that he was
perfect.
looking at, which is hit or miss, the ice knife shard then explodes.
Oh,
So the creature and the target and each creature within 5 feet needs to make a dex save or
okay.
take 2d6 cold damage.
Nice.
The-
We're gonna have freezing epistaxis sickles coming
Yeah,
from
so
Sparks.
Sparks, please
So-
go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
You're so
Epistaxis?
I rolled a 3, but at least I have good dex saving throw, so I got a 9.
What's
You also
the
have inspiration if you need it.
what's the DC there, Doctor?
Yeah, I might be using that inspiration.
The plant's dex save was 11, by the way. Nope. Okay. So then, wait. Sparks, are you using your inspiration?
Yeah, I'll use inspiration to avoid the damage.
Okay.
Or to
Well,
roll.
to try to.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
There's no
rolled
damage
a
on it.
4.
Ah,
I got to 10.
right.
Okay. So how much damage is that? And where should I be looking? Are you in
Yes.
the?
Yes.
So the first one, the first D10 was 5, and I'll roll the D6 right now.
Mhm.
That's a 4.
Okay. So you take 4 damage as well, Sparks. Okay, so yeah, you've done, especially with the exploding bit, you've taken off quite a few more chunks, but there's still a lot of this plant, and it doesn't seem to have messed up the flower itself.
Okay.
So, Sparks, are you still up?
I am. I got 4 hit points from Whippoorwillow, and I got 4 hit points taken away by.
Right.
Okay.
So
Yes, he's at 2.
not
I also
very.
have 1 more inspiration left because I started the session with an inspiration and I got another one for the recap, so still have something in the bag.
Okay.
Righty. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Inoki?
I'll wait until my next turn to get up close and personal with it.
Okay, sounds good. Then Cerebrides.
Euripides is already really annoyed with this situation because this tiny one literally cannot go 5 feet without starting something in her eyes. So she just whips her sword out and stalks over and just splashes at the plant.
Okay, so as you walk towards it, please give me a wisdom saving throw.
No, fine. Let's see. Wisdom saving. Then I don't get a plus for my wisdom. So that's fine.
You'll be fine.
Oh, that's 14.
14. Okay, that's enough. So you get a kind of a faceful as the full bouquet of this earthy musk just hits your nose, and it's a lot, and it kind of takes you aback for a moment, but then you continue forward and just kind of push past it. As you get up there, go ahead and make a attack roll.
Yes, ma'am. Nice. So that'll be. Second. That'll be a 19.
Okay, a 19 definitely does a good hit on it.
Sweet, and that'll be for 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Okay. That's pretty good. So you managed to lop up another section. Are you taking any care doing this, or just kind of swinging at it?
I think I would try to cut as close to like this, as a hydra sprouts new heads, I would try to cut right at the base of it.
Okay.
Cut it off.
One of the other fronds, or the one that Sparks is dealing with?
The one Sparks is probably dealing with.
Okay. I'm gonna roll some percentile dice real quick.
Well, I don't like that.
It's an 88%, so you are 88% successful. So I'm gonna say you take a swing at it, and when the ice knife exploded, it kind of got Sparks to flinch back just enough for you to kind of slice and for it to fall without physically touching you or Sparks again.
Nice.
And your are you gonna move anymore, or stay there?
I'll probably just stay there.
Okay.
I have more killing things to do.
Okay, sounds good. Then next up is gonna be Whistle.
So this round is going to be conspicuously similar to the last one because he's going to pull out his scimitar and head over and try and chop off some vine.
Okay.
And I believe I'm already inside the range of the stuff because I went over and healed Sparks.
Okay. So
I think I don't need to make a wisdom saving throw, but
yeah, because you already made one last game, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you are fine for this moment.
Okay. Yeah, I'm already inside the radius. Obviously, there are other factors that I hope to not find out about.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll do my attack roll.
Yeah. Make your attack. Your snack
Womp
attack.
womp womp.
Ooh! Awesome. So
yeah, so I crit.
so your first damage die will be maxed, but go ahead and roll it to determine what the second damage die.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, I rolled a 6.
Okay.
So I believe that means I do 15 damage. Because if the first one's
Awesome.
maxed,
Mm-hmm.
the second
Plus,
one's a 6, I get a +3.
yeah. So and the first one got your bonus, and then the second
Yeah.
one is just the dice, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
15 damage altogether.
Okay, so you've managed to get another half of this, and as you do, one of the flowers falls with it this time, and is now kind of like being partially smushed by some of the vines that you've lopped off, and it's in this pile on the ground.
Okay. Would I have an opportunity to react to that, or is attacking basically my turn?
Well, tell me what you want to do.
I really want to just like reach out and try and if the so was the flower part of what I chopped off and it's falling?
So it's kind of hard to tell if the flower is part of the plant itself, but it was not directly on the same vine, even if it was part of the plant. It just comes off a very delicate stem.
Okay. So best case scenario would actually be like reach out and grab the flower.
Okay.
If not that, then like grab the vines that are gonna land on it and just like keep them from crushing it.
Okay. So I will have you make a dexterity check of either sleight of hand or acrobatics.
Okay. Go with acrobatics.
Okay.
I swear, I rolled another 20.
Yeah.
He is lying.
That's a
Lying.
25. That's a 25.
Nice.
Okay, fine.
Starting this
So,
episode off. in
That's actually just what you needed, because
The birds are fine.
That was very
25.
difficult to pull off, because I mean you were busy swinging it, and with the rules of gravity and how many vines and fronds were there,
Sleight of wings.
you shouldn't have
Nice.
been able to do it. But indeed, you have managed, and you are now holding a flower and standing almost just atop of this pile of fallen plant.
Okay. So Whip's gonna just like cradle. You know, he's got like this scimitar in the other hand, but he's gonna cradle the flower real close. Just kind of look over at Alora because she's right next to him and go, follow the pointy one.
You're holding this, and the plant is kind of warm and very light. Like sometimes you have to kind of glance at it to remind yourself that it is in your arm and you haven't dropped it. It's just so weightless.
Don't we need 3 of them?
Yes, there are 2 more.
A couple more nat 20s will be good.
Yep.
Just get it out of the way.
Yeah. I did my part. It's you guys now.
Yeah. Beltol, what would you like to do? You're already within the 30-foot range.
I am. Beltol is seeing these vines being cleared, and I think they want to take their scythe and kind of go almost under and like undermine the other 2 flowers and see if they can't like catch them up with the scythe and like not like keep it out of reach.
Okay, so Using the scythe like a net, and then you're slashing it and trying to catch it with the scythe?
It's almost like
when
it's
somebody's
curved,
acting
right?
out on a theater.
No, it's like an angled cut in trying to pull it out with me.
Okay,
It's like
so
you cut grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, like wheat,
yeah.
Actually using the scythe like a scythe.
Right.
Like in a scything motion.
Yes.
Okay.
Harvesting.
Yeah. Go ahead and make
That's great.
It is very much.
Is it just a tool at that point, and she can just use whatever proficiency bonus she wants?
Tell me what kind of
imagine
a
we're on
roll
attack.
you would like to use. Do you want to make an attack roll? If not, tell me what you want to use.
She brought the right tool for the job.
I mean, so
Do it.
I can see where attack roll would be appropriate, but I would imagine that like a wisdom check from the gardening that Beltol would have been doing at this old church would come into play. Like reading all of these old plant books about how to do this kind of stuff.
Okay. So, would that be wisdom or intelligence?
I would imagine it'd be wisdom if they've been reading it.
Okay. So, which wisdom skill? This is not a trick question. It sounds like I'm hearing myself in it. Sounds like a trick question.
Clearly animal handling.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
Survival.
Would it be survival or would it? What about medicine?
I don't think it's gonna be medicine. I think let's do survival.
Survival.
That's bullshit right there.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was some Patrick Rothfuss bullshit cupcake.
I mean, it's the same modifier.
She tried to pull a cupcake on me, guys.
What?
Are you our Pat Rothfuss?
Trying to glaze this one over.
Oh. I guess that gets
That's
you an inspiration. Party groans.
Really?
Yeah.
Well then, fine. How many inspirations do you have to do to do this change fate thing, guys? I want to hear more about this.
It's going to be a 2.
Okay. Well, now I have 3.
Would you like to use one right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I really wish I had an emote effect. Oh wait, I do.
I'll stick with 1.
Okay, so you're going to do this God mode thing of a sorts. Not to misnomer it too much, but tell me a little bit about your relationship with a god.
A god? I've got 20.
Oh my gosh.
Beltol has a working relationship, it's just casual, nothing too serious. Sometimes we have pizza on Fridays.
With all of them?
And yes, and wear pink on Wednesdays. Shit. Their main deity is Kelimvor, who is like justice and death.
Okay. So
Oh. Can we make this that I went to do this, but I've been thinking and almost bird salivating over how close Sparks is.
She wants to harvest sparks and the flowers.
Wow.
Okay, so basically what this is you are like normally when you expend an inspiration, you can play it off as like something inspires you and you get a second win, like a second try at it. And in this case, you take a moment and you just attune yourself to that relationship that you have with the god of your choice, and in this moment, you know that Kelimvor is there and you are inspired by him. So tell me exactly what Beltol would be thinking of what she would ask of Kellenvor?
Kellenvor has the scales, so I would imagine they would be asking for balance in this situation, because we're already in the place that is for another deity and it is being overtaken. The balance is off.
Okay.
So I would imagine they would be asking to help remedy this situation, to right it to where it should be.
Okay. Give me one moment.
So we have to go to the opposite deity and feed them the halfling too.
Good evening,
Yeah, I
boss
think
lady.
so.
We see your
Okay.
wikis.
Yes, oh, you do see the wikis. I looked that up on the wrong screen. Haha.
Yeah, we see what you're up to.
Ah, I have to.
Kellenvor is so rad.
Kellenvor is really cool.
Because he's
Okay,
very
he's lawful
they're very
neutral.
neutral.
Yeah, it's really interesting. That's what I'm saying. I looked him up a little bit, but I just want to get kind of an idea of what Kellenvor's flavor of balance might be.
Death is the true neutralizer.
Everything's equal when it's dead.
Exactly.
You will all be collected.
All corpses are created equal.
It's like, I can't begin to help Sparks until he dies.
I mean, this sounds more like Beltol's religion than the balance religion.
Wrong screen, boss. There it is.
What? Did it go back again?
No, I've got a mega delay. Probably is my thing.
Oh, oof. That is a
East
big
Coast
delay.
It's brutal.
Internet man. Okay, so this is what is going to happen. You tap into this and
Look at her dancing.
so you take this moment and for a moment you were kind of startled out of your normal kind of attitude about the world as you saw all of this damage incurs, and indeed your little bird mouth is salivating, thinking of the salvation that soon could be delivered to Sparks. But you kind of draw yourself back and detach from that situation for a moment and connect with Kellenvor and think, WWKD, what would Kellenvor do? And yes, you feel his presence. He says that he would help you to purify this place if you were to allow him to work through you.
Beltol is ecstatic about this. Absolutely, yes, please. My life is yours.
He says, is it your life that I really want, though? And as you enter into
You may
this,
have my death too.
into this
Wow.
agreement with Kellenvor, you feel a coldness from inside of you. And your feathers, which are dark and mostly kind of guised in this deep-colored cloak that you wear, starting from the base of your feathers and extending outward, they just become a pure white. and this dark color scheme that you had becomes completely albino, almost to the point of being translucent. Like you can see through the feathers, through your skin. You can see your organs, your bird-like bones underneath, and you just look at this for a moment, and you seem to watch as your body moves and grows, and you become this large, like statistically, in a mechanical sense, the size large raven of pure white, and you kind of step forward closer to the statue, and you're now at an eye level with the statue far above the ground, and you're where normally you would be casting a shadow, especially at your size. There just isn't a shadow, and you lean forward. You see your body lean forward, and as your beak just touches this flower, and the vines kind of just crumple and dust the earth, and from that point you see little flowers start to grow, just sprouting out of the remains of this. And you feel yourself coming back into your body, your feathers losing their whiteness and returning to black, and you are now standing next to Sparks, and at your feet are the little pile of flowers and sprouting plant life and materials, and 3 golden flowers.
Are all the flowers that are on the ground golden?
I was about to say.
No, so the golden flowers are the ones that had blossomed amongst the vines that were creeping.
Okay.
The other flowers are seemingly not of the same nature and are just different colors, pastel, some pinks, some gentle blues. So
Okay.
they definitely seem to not be the same.
Is that it for my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much. So, Deirdre, this has been pretty exciting. What has been your response to this big bird of sorts?
So the flower monster's gone now, right?
Yeah, now it's just the 3 blossoms themselves lie on the ground.
Okay. So I think I kept swinging my drum up, and then somebody else moved, and then I'm like, oh, and then I swing it up again, and then someone else moves, and then I start to swing it, and then bell toll changes colors, and I just kind of lean back. Is there like any stonework or a tree I could lean back as I watch she gets bigger and bigger?
Oh yeah, and in fact, this is a kind of like amphitheater auditorium almost. So there's broad platforms of stone that kind of raise higher, and then up towards the top there are the short and mostly rubbly walls of a structure that was there long ago. So you can go up as far as you want, or just kind of lean back on the step that you're on.
Yeah, I think I just kind of lean back, kind of catch myself, just look up. And then as she's coming back down, I'll just do and give her a bardic inspiration and go, Iowa.
All right.
And bardic inspiration.
It's a D6, right?
D4.
I think it's a 4.
Yeah. So no, it's a D6. Wow.
Is it a 6?
Yeah.
bless is a 4.
Yeah, D6, and then later it becomes a D8, I think.
So you can add a 3 to an ability check, attack roll, or saving.
Okay. That's good. And you can do it that way where you roll and give them the number, or you can just give them the dice and they can roll it when they want to use it.
Yeah. That's what I meant to do.
No, it's okay. Well, learning new characters, it's part of
Yep.
the practicing. Okay, so because you're not actively in combat, we can break out of initiative. What do you guys do in the space that you have now? The sun is getting real low, big guys and small guys, and it's kind of approaching like a good solid twilight towards dusk.
I think
So-
Seripides. Oh, sorry. I think Seripides would turn to Beltol and kind of look down and just be like, "We have much to talk about. Let's make a fire." And Seripides decides to try and start another fire.
Okay, just right there.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna camp in front of the statue.
Right in front.
Should we might collect the flowers first?
Be there.
Beltol wants to put them into Aurora's hair. She thinks that would be safekeeping.
Yeah, Noki agrees with that.
She's psychic about that.
She's already got the
So-
flower crown. We just need like the special pieces. So
Mhm. So Whip has been like he was just kind of cradling the one that he had collected, and then he watches everything happen with Beltol, and he's just like eyes wide, staring, like completely frozen. And this is especially strange for him because he's always just kind of like doing the twitchy bird look around thing, you know. So he's actually like just staring. And a good, like 30 seconds pass where he's not doing anything, just kind of like trying to process what happened. And then he just kind of squeaks out like real softly, like, is this real life? and then when he sees Beltol putting the other 2 flowers in Aurora's hair, he just goes over and holds out the 3rd one.
Aw.
Okay. So did you guys want to set up your camp at this place or return to Mr. Druid guy?
I don't want to stay here. I'm gonna slump down on the ground after the thing goes away, and just like start crawling up away from the plant. And then Sparks is just like, "Oh my god, that was the worst smell ever." And I'm just like slowly crawling away, like blood trail behind me.
Can anybody help our poor little guy? He seems like he's having a real hard time again. I don't know why this always happens to you, bud.
Inoki's gonna throw a cure wounds at him. He'll pick him up, kind of in the Sparks babushka again.
Baby.
Yeah, that is 9 hit points, my friend.
There you go.
It's super effective.
Super effective.
So I'm at 11 to 15 now.
It ain't nothing.
Nothing to sneeze at.
So do you wear him in the front or in the back?
In the back.
I could do both, and you'll suddenly see him rotate around.
Tell me he goes through.
I can do both. So what you'll see, first time Inoki will just rotate him around, like the eyes will just the eyes will stare at you, and they're glowing blue, and all of a sudden you'll see it's almost like bark creaking, and then suddenly he'll just disappear within.
I just feel like
And then I'll turn it, and you'll see him appear in the back.
So weird.
And then, to top it off, you'll see him get pushed up and out the top of the red cap. And it'll just be his head sticking out of the top of the red cap.
It's a very weird feeling.
And after all that, I look so much better.
And he's healed.
Right.
I mean,
that's actually the process of casting cure.
Yeah.
It's a tough spell, so.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think Deirdre would kind of be like, well, I should check on my travelers, and she'll kind of edge towards the edge of the ruins and look out and be like, nope, I think they're gone. Can I stay with you guys?
Yeah, definitely. We could always use extra people to party with, and you've got that party drum. It seems like a good plan.
Whip looks at Deirdre and points at Laura and says, "Follow the pointy one."
Siripides is like hunched over using her cantrip to make another fire. And as soon as she hears Whistle say, "Follow the pointy one," she goes, "Oh, jeez." And goes back to making the fire.
So Deirdre goes, no, Whistle, it's follow the pretty one.
As when Deirdre says that, Whip looks over at Beltol, like, "Follow the pretty one."
OTP! I shouldn't.
Beltol is very confused by this. Just staring, looking back and forth.
Siripides looks at Ren and goes, "You'll have to try harder at flattery than that."
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yeah.
Can you?
It's
we
so
can
hard
see
to
you.
stay serious.
And we can hear you.
My camera just is disconnecting.
That's weird. Oh, we can see
Technology
it. It did
hates
blip
us.
out. It's the day for it, guys. I thought it was Tuesday, but really it's Monday. So
I blame
Tuesday.
Doctor for bringing in his juju.
yeah, it's all your fault.
The cook. I
Mom
need
is
more
so
cookies.
abusive.
So you guys are gonna. So are you gonna drag Sparks with you via Inoki's bod, or?
It's only dragging. He's just.
I think
planted
he's
in there.
stuck.
Well, I mean, like, bring him along with you, or are you guys all choosing to stay there? Either way. Are you going to the druid? Are you leaving the ruins another way, or are you parking it at the statue?
We're parking.
Can I do a
Okay.
perception check to see if I think it'll be safe here overnight?
That's probably
Yes,
a
you
good
can do
question.
perception or religion.
I was gonna.
I'll roll a perception too.
All right, then I'll do. If you're gonna do perception, I'll do religion.
I will
I'm gonna-
assist on the
Ooh.
religion check.
Okay.
So
I got a 22, bitches.
roll the religion with advantage.
Yeah, roll one more time. Yeah, when you do
Okay,
that.
so I rolled. One was a 14. Oh, they rolled exactly the same, but I have a +2, so it's 16.
Okay, so on the perception check, you are looking around and noticing this like deep twilight, and you kind of followed Deirdre's gaze towards the forest from which you came, back on the other side of the ruins. I mean, you kind of have to walk up the steps a little bit of the ways to try to look over and see from a distance, because you're not going all the way back out past the druid, but you notice you're just watching it for a little bit, and you come back and you're working on your fire, and you notice the light seems so in the way that sunsets work. the darkness kind of like follows the horizon as the sun lowers and the light lowers on the horizon, and you see it doing this and then doing this. So it starts to lower, and then it just kind of pauses and lightens again, and
Like,
pauses.
so it's rewinding.
Yeah,
Not like
and continues
Perpetual
forward.
twilight.
Yeah, it does seem like it's in a state of perpetual twilight at the moment, and it catches you as very strange, and the others seem to have not noticed yet. For the 16 religion check, you feel that this place is not dangerous per se, but you feel that it is in a place of indecision, like in betweenness. It's in limbo right now. What were you saying, Laura?
Oh, I think Seripides would just turn to Beltol if she can tell that Beltol is also looking around and sort of investigating, and she would kind of point it out and say, "Hey, did you notice that the sky hasn't changed much there?"
There's much uncertainty in this place.
We ought to keep moving.
We could. It's not
Change my mind.
unsafe. Do you know how much I just want the end of your tail to be our torch?
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was a thing that I could do, but I had an idea about that. I was thinking, since I have fire resistance, what if I wrapped my tail in a cloth that was wrapped in gasoline, so that the cloth is on fire, I'm not, my tail's just holding the fire cloth.
I could use prestidigitation.
And I can time travel to get the gasoline.
I roll for persuasion to DM.
Oh,
I got an 8.
Got an 8.
Let's do a persuasion of.
You need to roll a D100 for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my success.
If anybody knows the spell Produce Flame, that flame doesn't actually do any damage.
Yeah.
And you could cast it on the end of Thripidy's tail.
Charmander cosplay.
Well, it doesn't cause damage to yourself, so she cast it. And she'd be good.
Seripidamander.
So if I cast it, it doesn't hurt me.
That's correct. Yeah. If someone else shoves it in your face, though, then it will burn you. Hashtag C team.
Does that mean her tail also turns into a weapon?
Oh, absolutely. I would definitely.
Technically, it's damaged fire, but she can move it around.
Well, this is if she were to cast the spell. But I do not believe she has it right now.
Look at her. I would say everything about her is a weapon.
It's kind of deadly, yeah.
She's pretty pointy.
She's a weapon.
Even.
Derbies doesn't know what to do with all of this talk of her appearance. So she just goes back to the fire.
So it's kind of weird here, you pointed out. Did we want to stay here, or did we want to go see if that druid guy, if we could give him these flowers? It seems weird. I don't like it.
Well, Bong says it's not dangerous, per se. Right, Bong?
Beltol sighs. It says, it's not dangerous. It is and it isn't.
I feel like when the bird gets creepy.
So Deidre is completely not paying attention to the group, and she looks at Beltol and she's like, "Bong? Is that your name?"
Beltol shakes their head.
What's your name?
I will. Her full name.
Oh, it did it again.
I'm out.
No,
you're fine.
Good, you're good. Sorry. It was just been choppy.
Are you messing with me now?
No, it dropped out for a second.
You did
It
cut
dropped out for
out.
a second.
You're back. Out of here. I will telepathically, because apparently that's the only way it works in this game, tell you that her full name, is the Toll of the Bell.
So I'm gonna listen to it for a second and then look at Bell Toll and be like, could we call you Bell or Ring?
Ringo.
We've had so many naming struggles in this game.
Yeah, I just called him Bong because when they made that noise, it sounded like Bong, and we call him Whistle. So, I mean, if they've got better names, see, I don't know how to say that.
It matters not. You don't take it with you. So, if it makes it
But you're kinda
easier
stuck with it
for
right now.
your customs.
I telepathically go just to Bell Toll. As a matter of fact, you do take it with you. And then I cut it off completely. So you get static on the end of the line, so you don't know what to think of that.
Beltoll begins frantically reading through books.
Whip is wandering around like in this area, whistling his name and making the bell ringing sound just like alternately, as if to sort of like
That's
as if he's trying to
creepy.
communicate to everybody else, like, just say these, it's not that hard.
Euripides is going like this.
For the podcast, she's massaging her forehead.
Except it's actually on the tips of the horns.
Right.
She's rubbing
going
the
like
tips
this to
of
the tips
her
of her horns.
horns?
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Like
this is a
massaging
family
the
show.
temples for tieflings.
Wouldn't you be doing the base of the horns?
Right,
though?
right.
Isn't that
That's what I was thinking, like the
Yeah.
base of it. She's just like rubbing the base of her horns, like, oh man. Ah, jeez.
Ah, jeez.
So yeah, Aurora would probably be gathering her stuff up then, and just like, I don't know, the birds being weird. This seems like a weird place. We don't necessarily have to go all the way back to the druid guy, but maybe out of this immediate area of the plants that seem to have it out for us.
The birds are fine.
They're fine. It's okay.
Do we know that the druid will find us?
Right, because that seems how it's been before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
We can
I believe
travel back to the surface.
let's go back.
Yeah. So he didn't say he was coming in after you. He said that your challenge was to retrieve it. So from your passive,
That does imply bringing it back.
yeah, your passive kind of
but I
intuition
just mean
about
even
it.
on topside, he's been the one who's found us.
Yeah. So we might as well at least go topside.
That's a good plan.
Alright. Serpides looks sadly at the little fire she made, then kicks it out and walks away.
Okay, so you guys begin to make your way back, and whereas before you had to fight off some blights, you now see their remains, a couple of them, just charred piles of ash, and you step over the rubble and kind of find the path back again. And the shadows, whereas before were just soft evening light, they're kind of harsh in the golden light, and you make your way through them, but you don't seem to have any problems, and you walk towards the silhouette of this antlered figure just kind of leaning on the frame of partially their doorway of stone towards the outside of the ruins, and that is where we're going to pause for a short commercial break.
Yahoo!
Yeah. So Celtic Nut will return to the action after a short break, and we'll say I think 5 minutes or so, and yeah, we'll see you again very soon.
You meant
halfway,
to say.
I realized what it was. I decided to just say it anyway.
Yeah.
You didn't finish yours.
Okay. Wow.
Why did you
This-
take us?
Me?
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
I was thinking Costco, but okay.
All right.
We're having some mental difficulties. When last we saw our heroes before everyone broke so thoroughly. You guys were kind of making your way back towards this druid buddy, with your flower blossoms in tow as the darkness creeps forward and then recedes over and over again.
I don't like it, man. It's weird.
And I said this during the break, so I'll say it on stream too. At some point, Noki will grow sparks out of the top of the cap, and so he's sitting on top, like one of those child seats you would see in a restaurant, so he can just kind of see all around.
Yes.
I am much pleased with my new mushroom throne. That moves.
Are there
It's amazing.
rings?
Are there rings?
No, he does not get to drive.
It's not like
Gotta let
Ratatouille.
the children
He
drive.
just
He
like
definitely wants to, though. Yeah.
Oh, he wants to. There's
It's a
no.
gear thing.
He's
See
reaching
how that
down
works for you,
behind
buddy.
the edge. That's hilarious.
I'm testing out to see if I lean one direction, if the mushroom will go that way, if I lean the other direction.
Roll
much-
a
how much
mushroom
do you like?
handling check.
Yeah, contested.
Yes.
Would that be like a contested animal handling?
No, it would be a mushroom handling against whatever this mushroom desires. So he doesn't have to do anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically. So, how are you guys approaching the druid and his grandois, edleriness?
The flowers. Are the flowers still in Aurora's hair?
Yes. Because no one said otherwise.
I think Euripides would sort of point to Aurora's flower crown and say, "Hey, we got it."
How is the druid responding to everything?
Give me an insight check. As you kind of point out that you have collected the
I'll
flowers.
assist, so you could take advantage. Or actually, can't she if I assist? Does that work? No.
Oh,
You
I
can't
have bardic inspiration too.
advantage and
Ah.
insight. Yes, she could use bardic inspiration or her regular inspiration.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm gonna have to take that because I just rolled a natural 1, even though I got a +5.
Oh no.
Okay.
So I get to roll a d6. Where is my d6? There's my d6. Haha! 6, 7. That's an 11.
An 11. Okay. That's still better than a 6. So it is very hard to tell, especially because right now you're mostly seeing his silhouette and then just kind of the edge of the smoothed out mask is lit by the golden twilight. And it's just really hard to read him right now.
Do I see anything more with my dark vision?
I mean, it's not, all the shadows are not as deep for you. There's not as much that could be hidden
Okay.
in them just because you're able to discern them more.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he hasn't really responded much. His body language is not showing like surprise or that he is impressed. He's just kind of has acknowledged that you're there and He nods slowly, this kind of like careful grace, and steps out of the doorway and to the side of the door across from where the half-sunken chest lies. He says, I wasn't actually sure that you would be able to do this. It seems that the ruins have chosen well. Tell me, did you meet any gods in this place?
I think Euripides would kind of, without trying to give anything away, kind of like side-eye Beltol a little bit. Wouldn't say anything.
Okay.
Would just say, not me.
Okay, go ahead and give me a deception check.
Me?
Yeah, because you're trying to be sneaky with your side eyings.
It's funny that I'm a rogue, because I am real proficient in deception. Well, and good thing for it too. A 21.
Okay, yeah, you feel like you are managing to give Beltol the social cue you intended, but quite on the DL. Down low.
Beltol is oblivious to social cues.
But at least the druid didn't notice.
That's what's important.
He says, are you ready for what comes next now that you have completed your challenge?
And what comes next?
Yeah, what's next?
Well, you will offer up the tokens of your victory to Belinus, and this chest that we have locked its contents away will be revealed to you.
Well, we want to do this, guys. I got these flowers for.
Oh, we might as well.
All right. Know that how your next actions may unfold, that you may be able to decide the fate of what happens to this ruins. As you can see, I'm sure, it is in a place of unbalance. It's deciding between existing and not existing any longer, and I don't know how the uprooting of this chest will affect this ruins, this ancient holy place, but at the same time, I don't know that we can leave this world without taking any next steps. So what is it that you choose?
So I think Beatrice in the back next to Sparks, and she just kind of whispers, "Who is this?"
What's going on?
Pretty much.
You met him on the way in.
Oh, I did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he spoke to you all. It's the same druid that told you about what the challenge was requesting of you before directing you in deeper.
Yeah, it sounds like we're ready to move forward. I mean, we don't want to make anything worse, but if we gotta take some next steps, let's take the next steps. And she'll present the flowers.
Okay, so you kind of bring the flowers up to this chest, and you see that the closer you get, the runes that kind of encompass this, the lid of this chest this old parsed kind of predecessor to the common language that you share. You see them start to glow, and where once there was not even a real apparent way to open it or unlock it, it just starts to kind of open. Like the lid slides itself off, and you see inside this chest there appear to be many folds of silken fabrics, and you push one aside, and you see that there are several tokens of varying colors attached to both feathers and symbols, and so they're all just kind of bundled together, and they look very old, very well preserved, and they just are radiating power.
Are
Do
they bright or shiny in any way?
Oh yeah, they're kind
Whip's
of
face is right in there. He's
glossy.
just really excited about the shiny things.
You cut out what is in the chest?
There are little bundles of kind of almost trinket-looking things. There's some kind of string or twine wrapped around a bundle of a feather, a wooden token with a symbol on it, and I forget the last thing that I said. The token, the feathers, and the token has a symbol. I think that was just it, really.
There's just 3 of them?
There are
7?
6. There are 6. And this is just the top of the chest, after moving aside the fabric.
Could I roll like a perception? Well, no, that wouldn't really tell me. I guess could I roll like an Arcana check to see if these items are like cursed or something?
Yeah, you can do an Arcana check to look for a curse.
Yeah, I think Aurora right away, seeing the glowing and everything, would want to inspect it at a magical level also.
On fire today, you guys, and 21 again.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. And then you wanted to roll as well, Aurora.
17.
Okay. So you, and it's also Arcana, right? Okay. So between the two of you, just kind of looking at these, you managed to decipher that they're not cursed, but they're the kind of magic item that requires attunement and kind of a bond between the user and the item.
So it would have to be attuned to use.
Yeah.
He just wants the box. He wants us to bring the whole chest to him.
The druid? The druid doesn't want the stuff.
We're just supposed to put the flowers in the chest?
Yeah, he said that the ruins had... So basically he said the ruins had chosen your party as the ones to have the contents of this box as long as you proved yourself worthy by completing this challenge.
So it all looks pretty magical. It looks like stuff that is probably only supposed to be for one person, Aurora will say, looking at everything. I can identify stuff, but I can't identify that many things.
Yeah. They're not cursed, but definitely only one person could use these. You'd have to be something special to use one of these.
we want to take them out?
Yeah, one person per item, basically. Like, it doesn't have to be the same person who has all of them. From what you were looking at, it's just each of these wants to have a person, basically.
Do they seem to indicate who they're supposed to be for, or look like they have religious iconography off of them?
They don't have necessarily religious iconography, but the symbols that you see on the tokens, each token has one symbol. On one, you see an anchor. On another, there's a bird, then a fan, a swan, a tree, and a whip.
Whippoorwill is gonna like just pick up the one with the tree on it.
Okay.
Does anything immediately happen when he does that?
No, you just feel its presence.
Mm-hmm.
Euripides picks the one that has the whip on it.
Okay.
So I think Deirdre was kind of hanging back, but as people are taking things out of the chest, she kind of ventures forward and is just kind of peering over her shoulders, trying to look at what's in the chest, but trying not to interrupt the group either, since she still feels a little bit like a third wheel.
So there's still anchor, bird, swan,
and fan.
And fan.
Okay.
I think.
Sorry, that was a question for me. I just spaced out a little bit.
Yeah, so the list was tree, whip, anchor, bird, swan, and fan.
Yeah, tree, whip, anchor, bird, swan, and fan. Yeah.
Aurora might pick up the fan one and see what she can check out. There's a bunch of bundles, so she's gonna get curious about one.
Okay.
I think Sparks would have hopped down once he saw everyone was looking in the box and curiously gone over and peered into it. And once he sees that Whippoorwillow has taken out the tree one, he looks at the remaining bird one and picks it up. It's like, look, it looks like it's like you. And you got the
There's
one that's
two
like
birds, though.
Your house.
Yeah, the birds love to share, apparently.
That's true. You also bird, but you're a big bird.
So you're picking up the swan one?
I'm picking up the bird one.
It's the bird one. That's not the swan one.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's what Cupcake was saying. I thought you were saying that there's two of you bird types.
No. There in the chest still there was a bird, a swan, an anchor.
Yeah.
And the fan just got picked up, so there's just now a bird, a swan, and an anchor.
Now there's a swan and an anchor.
All right.
Deirdre's staring intently at the anchor one, but she's waiting for Beltol to choose something.
Did Doctor not get one?
I'm just watching by. I don't.
I think Beltol is going to go through the box more.
Okay. So you begin to pull these out and kind of lift it up with some of the silk and move it and set it on top of the chest lid. And as you look through this a little bit more, you find a kind of a little figurine or statuette that you can hold in your hand, and it is this carved ebony figurine, and it looks like a horsefly.
That's awesome.
All I can think of is these things eat dead. else.
Yeah.
But so do I.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Beltol is going to pick up the horsefly in both hands and walk over and put it on the top of the mushroom cap.
Like,
Just set it kind of off to the side a little bit, see if its little feet kind of sink in to give it a little stability.
Stab.
no, what happens is it just goes and then it just sinks in just a little bit, but it stays above the cap.
That's what
So
I'm
the feet
hoping.
are kind of.
It's like a barrette. It's a bullet barrette.
Oh.
Magic bullet, Barrett.
The best part is on my cams, the two word criminals are right next to each other right now.
Mhm.
May I do an Arcana check on this thing?
Yeah. Go
It's in your
ahead.
head, so maybe.
I like that you put it
Yeah, but
inside of you before checking
That's
to
just
see
a
what it
physical,
was.
like that's like basically like Noki holding it in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Except
That's
you
a
have
20.
hands. A 20. Okay. So you think that this is similar to a figurine of Wondrous Power, which is that face.
They're so good.
Yeah. You think it could be commanded to turn into something. By its appearance, probably a horsefly.
Such
And-
a useful pet.
Yeah, it actually is when you think about it. I
Oh, you cut
did
out.
telepathy. Actually, I say to everyone, I said, this is a very powerful and wonderful gift. Are you sure you want me to carry it?
It looks good on you, buddy.
I have a problem with this. And I just nod and thank you.
So we just have the two. That's the box is now like empty except for the two talismans we hadn't taken.
Yeah, so there's an anchor and a swan.
I think Beltol would pick them both up and probably hold the swan and offer the anchor to Deirdre.
She's like, thank you. And I want to examine it and see. Can I tell what type of anchor, like what size ship would this anchor be used for?
Yeah.
Would that
I'm saying
be
yes,
a
but
history
yeah, let's do history.
investigation?
I think history is a good one for you.
20.
Okay. So you would know that it is the kind of anchor that you most use in the bays and fjords around this area.
Okay.
Irish doesn't know what that is. So if you would like to tell me, then you can tell me.
What size ship is it? Is it like a small fishing vessel or like a large like passenger ship? Like what size for a ship does this look like it's for?
It's like a
Okay, does it look like handmade or does it look like it was manufactured? Like does this look like it's from like a small fishing village or from one of the big cities?
I would say you would recognize it as being a primitive form of anchors used to deliver passengers. So
Okay.
like old longboats that could carry lots of people, like the Viking turtle ships.
Awesome.
It would
Okay.
be an anchor for that. Yeah. I don't know if,
Cool.
historically speaking, they had anchors, but in this world they do.
Tell me on Twitter if anybody knows.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he's pointing at the screen. Let's see. Ah, sweet.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
You good? You good?
I think Aurora would cast identify on her little fan bundle thingy.
Okay. So you casted identify, and you have the fan one. I will. So what I'm gonna do is send you this description.
Oh yeah, that works.
But just know that this is all that you find on the surface level, but
Okay.
it is not all there is to it.
Gotcha. Cool beans.
Yeah.
She'll be like making notes in her little notebook and drawing it and stuff. Doing her nerd thing.
Okay. Sounds good. Everyone else?
Can I roll an Arcana to see if I can see why in particular this one spoke to me, and like what it looks like exactly, and
Yeah.
what kind of a whip it is?
Yes, you can.
Would that be an Arcana or a Perception?
Arcana.
Oh, but I'm bad at Arcana.
If you want to know what magic items do, study Arcana.
That's fine. I got a 20 anyways.
Okay, 20 is pretty good. So, this message that I'm sending you is the basic piece of information that you learn without attuning to it. I sent it to
I'm sorry, what?
I sent a message to your Discord DMs.
Oh, I'm checking it right now.
We're getting ready to have a rest, correct?
Yeah, that
Nice.
was our goal after dealing with this druid, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, does anyone else want to learn about their items before we continue on? And before you attune to
Does
it?
it make any difference if we do it now or if we just attune to it?
Either way, you will gain more information when you attune to it. So if you start at 0 information, you'll learn a little bit more. If you start at ahead, then you'll be ahead in learning more about it, basically.
Okay. Yeah, well then I'll go ahead and do, I guess, an Arcana check on mine as well.
Okay.
It's a 16.
Okay.
It's the swan.
All right. So when you use it, gotta find
Those
your
white
DMs.
birds.
Bird's the word. Here we go. Oops. Nope. Wrong chat. Ah.
Oh,
Oh.
It's now showing.
I have way too many Discords open right now.
No such thing.
Yeah, sorry everybody.
Oh my gosh, this one controls the whole world and I can kill all the people.
Hooah!
No, only half of them.
We didn't get you anything.
But here's the problem. I can't snap.
That's true.
That's brilliant. Why don't you keep that one then?
That's really funny.
Uh-huh.
Your one weakness.
I show half of everyone in the snap. You don't have opposable thumbs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Wait, what?
Bye.
Oh.
He blew
wow,
my
that
mind.
magic item
Apparently
is
she
so
could
powerful. It
snap.
broke her camera in real life.
Yeah, it was that bad. She doesn't want to play it anymore.
So
I'm
Bye.
okay.
are you set?
I think I just cannot move my mouse off of this screen.
Oh, that's weird.
That's weird.
Problem.
That should not be the case, but okay.
Telling me. We will be using my phone to manage the discords.
That's why I have to have so many discords open. I'm trying, guys.
Doing great.
Okay. Does anyone else want to know the things? You
Yeah,
keep trying to talk. I'm
so-
just gonna keep cutting you off, Dweebus.
Right. Whip is gonna investigate his, but he's specifically looking at the icon of the tree, and I want to roll a religion check based on him trying to understand if it's a specific tree.
Okay.
I
That
don't
would be a
like
13.
I don't like the look in her face.
Okay.
Hit that tree?
15 or 13?
Yeah.
15.
13.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wait, 13?
Marathon, your lady friend staring.
13. 1 3.
Okay. Okay. 13. So
Be it that tree.
you can tell that the syntax around this symbol and the way that it appears on this circular token does remind you of iconography of the Tree of Life, but you know that this is specifically an oak tree.
Okay. Well, he's still interested in it. Maybe like a little bit disappointed, like wanting, hoping it had been something slightly different. But I'll still do an Arcana check to try and figure out.
What tree
What
were
the
you hoping for?
Just any other tree. He wanted a pine
The tree.
tree. It's
The tree.
treeism.
Who's hoping for the tree that he sleeps in?
Arcana was also 13.
Okay. You can tell that this is indeed a form of
Magic.
creation magic. And
That's cool.
I will send you a message, not in that Discord window, but in this one. I caught myself this time. But you guys can see all my secrets. The secrets that Chat and I were sharing
Secret.
together so secretly. Yeah, so that's the information you get, bud.
So I wanted to check. I wanted to check one more thing because I forgot to see if this is related to Lear or any of the other gods of the sea. Like if this is any sort of iconography.
So because of your experiences with just understanding a lot of the local gods and having a little bit of background on them, you know that there are a lot of gods that have to do with the sea but aren't necessarily sea gods. There's a lot of gods that are multifaceted and not very like specifically limited to a certain area. So with this kind of symbology, it could thematically tie into all sorts of different gods.
Okay.
yeah, you'd have to try to spend more time with it and learn more about it to learn its specific origins, if there is one in that direction.
Okay.
I'm going to. What does my? Is it a coin that I have with a bird on it?
Yeah, so it's a feather tied to this little like wood cookie token, and it has the symbol of a bird on it.
Okay,
Cookies.
cool.
Cookies.
Cookies?
Suddenly, I have your
think
attention.
This is a baking opportunity for Celtic Knot.
Yay!
I'm going to look at
Merch.
the cookie, and I'm going to kind of squeal into like, "Ooh, this is perfect! I love things like this. I use them to remind myself of where I've been." And then I just pull out this like kind of leather bag from inside my coat, and just like it opens up, and there's like 60 different little trinket things in there. And I'm looking around for a spot to attach this little coin to the open spot in my like collage. I don't really, as a character, I don't really recognize that there's any value in this besides being a trinket, and I've associated all of the looking at them from other people as I would just look at it too, just for simple interest.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. This is Dungeons and Dragons. Was there anyone else who had yet to explore Beltol? Did you want to look into? Did you already look into yours?
I did.
You did. You did.
Okay, I had a question about mine that I
Oh,
DM'd
did you?
about.
You DM'd me.
Yeah.
It was lost. Let me see. Okay, so another thing you guys will all know is that these are very old and they're worn with use. So you can infer that they are not single-use items.
Okay.
I think Aurora should be looking at hers, and after she inspects it, she'll like she's making notes and drawing it and stuff. She goes, "Well, yep, it's a fan. I don't know what I expected."
As you guys have now been kind of inspecting all of these things that you have collected, you are kind of your attention is the druid grabs your attention. I have like a poetic way to say it and I lost it. It's gone. But
words are hard.
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah. Hey there.
Hey.
Hey. That's exactly what he says. Hey.
With the antlers and all. Hey.
Hey.
He does the Fronds.
He says, these artifacts should never fall into the wrong hands. They are artifacts of both creation and destruction, and they will alter worlds. So use them wisely and use them justly. And I will respect that it was you and not me, because you were the ones the ruins chose, but know you that if you are to choose poorly in the future, I cannot allow my people to stand idly by and let that happen. So I ask that you choose to become protectors of these and of what they represent that you will come to learn.
All right, bud. You got it.
Whip starts nodding very enthusiastically and just says, "Choose to become protectors."
Sparks is going to open back up his collage and be like, "Oh, geez," and pull out the thing and be like, "Okay, this is going to go in a different pocket." And he's searching, figure out where he's going to put it.
Beltol is going to pick up the silk that was in the chest and kind of wrap it around like a giant scarf.
Okay, I'm so glad you did that.
Oh no.
Beltol disappears.
It's like a Harry Potter cloak. What?
I am waiting for D&D Beyond to load.
Shiny.
Ah! Yes. Okay. Aha. So you're wrapping this around you, and you
Gain +5 AC.
You're
So your
invisible
stats
forever.
become 20.
Yep.
You can snap now.
Mm-hmm.
Except it's also a constrictor, and it takes off 1 hit point for every hour of usage.
It pops out my little bird eyes.
exactly.
Makes you allergic
So
to feathers.
Oh, so brittle.
you wrap this around you, and you notice as you are pulling it out that it has kind of two sides to it, and this is a rich blue, kind of satiny silky color, and on one side it's just deep, and on the other there appears to be a print of hundreds of little eyes in different places, just kind of covering it on that side. And you're looking at them as you wrap it around you, and you think you see a couple blink at you.
Beltol kind of folds it over. Wraps it around and makes sure it's flipping over behind them.
Okay.
They're not letting anybody know that was strange. With their experience, eyeballs don't usually look at you, let alone blink. It's not usually a good thing.
You're thinking about this, and you kind of close your eyes shut to just kind of like just reality check. Like, is this real? Is this what's really happening? And did it actually blink at me? And like, you kind of squint your eyes shut, but you still see the world around you, even with your eyes closed. In fact, you can see even more than you did before, somehow.
Beltol opens their eyes and kind of looks around and makes sure that everybody else is acting normally, as normal as humanoids can. Says nothing. Absolutely nothing. Can anybody else see the eyeballs, or is it just because I have it on?
I was gonna say, can I roll like a perception or an insight, maybe to see like what she's freaking out about?
Go. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think Aurora would be too engrossed in her own little knickknack to notice.
Ugh. How about a 16?
You think that Beltol is very intrigued by the scarf, and maybe it's just a weird bird thing that he's doing, or maybe there's another like, magic-y thing attached to it. It's a little bit hard to tell. Beltol's pretty mysterious.
That's it. I just wanted to know.
Okay.
Bird is weird.
So I have a question.
Birds are fired.
Are we giving up the 3 flowers, or were they just like part like? Can we take those back, or do they have to be left here, or?
They are currently sitting on the chest, just kind of like hovering.
Can one of them be removed, or?
Are you going to ask or just try?
I will to the archdruid. I will say, are the symbols of our task to be left here, or may we take one as a token of collection?
He seems to consider it, and he thinks back at you. I know not how the chest would interpret that, or if not the chest, then this place. I don't know if it is needed.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
So Noki will actually.
Before we take any of the flowers, is there anything else in the chest?
Well, that was going to be the first thing.
Okay.
I was going to do an inspection on that.
Okay.
To make sure there wasn't anything in the lid or.
One last thing in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
About
a giant bomb. You're all in on it.
A chest dimensions amount of air.
No.
Wait. I've got.
He left.
Cal quit. Unsubscribe.
You broke Algernon. Look what you did with your dad jokes. Look what you did.
How big is the chest?
Oh man, I'm pretty sure I gave an answer for that, but let's see.
Does it seem to be spark
Chest
sized?
Like you could carry it, or like you could fit in it.
Like, could I put Sparks in this chest if, say I needed to inter him?
You could definitely fit a halfling in this chest, but it is hefty and it is half sunken in the ground still.
Perfect. I know where we're coming back to.
I told you this one is not to be collected yet.
Well, it doesn't look like this is going anywhere soon.
He does keep trying to die, in all fairness.
I actually would like to live. I mean,
we'll table talk this later.
Beltol uses their feather and runs it across the blood under Sparks' nose.
I'm just like, nope, it's not it. I'm good. I'm feeling better now.
There's an adventuring trope that. Anyway.
I think Aurora would be looking for a place in her cat to hide her little knickknack.
Anyway, so if there's nothing else in the chest other than air, Dungeon Master.
Who is also in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, air. You made it into my stream.
How'd you get in our game?
There's an King Grimes in there. You're not. You need to elaborate. That backfired, didn't it? I got
the
everything.
best thing ever. A chest
That
full
is.
of Canadians.
Right. So now you all know if you cheer with bits, you get in the game.
Yes, thank you for the bits. Also, you are a winner.
Rhymes, you are a treasure.
Sorry.
Hey, okay. So
Oh, you just cut out.
interest to our okay. Since there's nothing else of interest to us in this game. Sorry, buddy.
In this game?
Hacking crimes isn't part of this game. Everyone's cutting out. I can't hear anything.
Oh
I
man.
think
can
it
hear
might
you
be
again,
your
but you cut
internet
out.
connection.
I don't know.
Naughty Discord.
Yeah, we'll figure out all this and stuff.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Inoki will solemnly close the chest, which the flowers are on top of the chest or on the lid.
On the lid of the chest.
Okay, so I will close the chest, and I'll just gently poke one of the flowers to see if it's loose or if it's just firmly attached to it.
Okay, so you poke it, and in the manner of something in like outer space, it just kind of like ripples and floats there, and just throw me a perception check. Why not a perception check?
Why not?
Yeah, Shiny, you're already in the game.
5.
Would you say
A
something
5.
oozes forth?
Oh.
Yeah. Just
I
as you
love you
close the
guys.
chest, there's a squishy sound.
Yeah.
And the chest is a mimic.
So Ooze, you're in the game because Anoki's always oozing all over the place. So
That's true.
that's you in the game.
That's my salivary
You
fluid.
can be this boy's ooze.
He's an oozy boy.
Yeah, it's very amusing.
Oozing.
Okay, let's carry on from this.
Okay.
You with the 5, you're just kind of like noticing that there's just seems to be like a gentle, like almost gravitational pull for it to be in place, but it's not particularly resistant to being moved.
The chest.
The
flower.
flower above the chest, the chest
Kind of
lid.
like
Yeah,
they want to be there, but if you take them, they'll come.
yeah, exactly. And
Is
does
anyone
anyone?
else near me right now?
Yeah, you're all in the general vicinity, but does anyone have a passive perception above 15?
Let me check.
Mine is 15.
Okay.
No.
A 15 is enough to see that the light of the twilight that you guys are currently bathed in just seems to kind of ripple.
Is it
The sky is a sheet and someone just went.
Does it seem like that was connected to Inoki touching the flower, or just kind of happened around the same time?
You think it is?
You say anything to me about it?
I don't think Whip says anything.
Would you party line anything?
I think he's just gonna go over and like lift one of the flowers maybe like an inch off of its base, but be like perfectly prepared to put it right back down if it seems to go bad.
Okay. So you which one do you mess with? The 3 are lined up, and
One in the
Anoki. The one what?
In the middle.
In the middle? Okay. So this time it seems like the sky ripples from the top down towards both the darkness and the light ends of the sky that you can see.
Do we all notice this now?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Especially because
Whip.
Whistle is kind of observing it and looking for these happenings in the sky. You guys are You take a little bit of note of this. Yeah, and you see the ripple from above.
So he puts the flower back down on the chest and goes, "Ah, jeez."
Yeah, and I'll pull my hand away and kind of just back away slowly.
Euripides looks at all of this and then, in true scientific fashion, moves the flower again just to see if it does it.
Which one?
Everybody's gonna do it.
The middle one.
The middle one. It does do it again.
Okay, she does the one on the left.
The one on the left sends a ripple from the darkness end of the sky.
Touches the right one.
A ripple from the light side of the sky.
Oh, geez, you guys, it's like there's one of those video games there, don't you know?
Video game?
What is this
Oh,
video game that you speak of?
What
is a video?
Walks up to Euripides and looks at her. Why don't we try it at once? And Beltol grabs the right and the middle flower and waits for Euripides to grab the left one. We pick them all up at the same time.
Yes. On 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
You lift them up, and as you do, you are all your senses are immediately assaulted as you feel both terribly, terribly hot and burning cold at the same time, as there is a flash of bright light and then an absolute absence of anything. And you let go, and they spring back into place, and it's like you got it's like solar flared and then deep freezed instantly. So you guys all just take like 2 points of damage.
Can we stop touching the flowers now? I think I think it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Euripides looks around and says, just because it hurts doesn't mean it's bad.
All pain ends.
It's done. And we don't need the flowers.
But they're pretty.
Spark kind of has been tottering this whole time and just like he's like tapping his head and like, oh man, spitting out blood. Whoa, I think I need a long rest. Ow, what was that?
Yeah, maybe we all need to just take a rest and think about things before we go wrecking any worlds or anything.
They will alter worlds.
Oh, great.
So, shall we nap here?
Wait, is the druid still here? Like, is he still watching us, like, do all of this?
Yeah, and he seems a little bit tense.
Is he gonna nap with us?
That's creepy. That's really creepy.
No, he's just he has been just kind of watching, and as you guys mess around with the flowers and these various experiments, he kind of sits down on the step by the door and kind of crosses his legs and rests his hands on his knees and begins to just quietly rest there. But his shoulders and his frame are very tense.
Euripides would spin to look at him and say, "Oh, so did you know about this?"
I did not. I have never seen anything like this. This does not bode well for whatever this realm is. It can't be nothing, but it's struggling to be both light and dark.
Well, what's there to do about it?
I don't know how I can best help you. I don't know what this wants, but if you are to come up with a plan, I would not refrain from assisting you.
Well, could Euripides roll? Well, could I roll a? Can I roll like? Would it still be Arcana, or could I do like an investigation to see if maybe there's an indication of like if there's a pattern these flowers need to be picked up in, or like something like that?
Yeah, go ahead and do investigation or I mean, yeah, I think probably investigation would be a good one because you are approaching it from a scientific standpoint.
18.
Okay. So you think somehow the flowers are not in balance with one another and that they want to be something that they are not currently being.
And is this just like a general feeling that I get from investigating the flowers?
Yeah, you think that you probably do need to rearrange them, but you don't know exactly which one would be best. I think that will be up to your intuition as a player and what you think will be best.
Euripides would relay this to the group and say something like, I think we need to rearrange these. I think they're in the wrong order, or something about how they are now is making the flowers unhappy, which I never thought I would say.
Well, we don't want the flowers to be unhappy. That's not good.
To think that all three of these flowers were in Aurora's hair a moment ago.
Maybe we should put them back.
Every time you guys pick them up, something crazy happens.
That's true.
So Deirdre is gonna just kind of sit down and wrap her arms around herself, and she's like, "Okay, I'm ready for the solar flare and the sun and whatever happens next."
Um,
Go ahead.
Could Whip go over and just kind of one by one on each of the three flowers, just kind of touch the petals, and we need to use the spell Druidcraft. Basically, just like one of the effects of Druidcraft can either like make a flower blossom or a seed pod open or a leaf bud blossom or something like that. It just wants to sort of like activate each one of these and see if they respond to that spell differently, and if that kind of gives him any information about which one is which, so to speak.
So we're casting spells on the world-changing flowers.
Well, he's been doing that all day.
It's super effective.
We're casting nature magic on nature.
Carefully.
Yeah,
Just don't,
carefully.
Just don't grow the darkness one too much.
Do you have speak with plants?
Not yet.
That's like level 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I've never played a druid.
I will take that spell once I'm high enough level. I just can't yet.
The druid says, I do not speak with plants either. So you use your druidcraft to kind of possibly realize the potential in these blossoms and in an attempt to have them more known to you. And you notice that the the darkness end flower is rather healthy, while the twilight and light flowers are struggling. And you notice that they each have kind of one petal that is not as healthy as the rest. There's some spotting on it, almost like it's beginning to rot.
Before anyone can react or tell him not to, Whip is going to take those two that seem like they're not in the best shape, swap them. So that make them change places.
Okay. So you do this, and it seems to ripple, and it's a very interesting view of the sky, because you're normally used to seeing light in the sky as just one range. There's one light end, there's one dark end, but suddenly it kind of seems to fold in on itself, and there's almost this competition where the light is battling the darkness on one end of the sky, and for a moment you don't know whether the spotted flower, the light end flower, is growing stronger in that corrupted petal, or if it is dying more.
Ah, jeez.
Ah, jeez.
Wow.
So now we have two healthy ones and one that's not?
Yes, the twilight flower seems to be okay. You don't know if the light flower will be, though. It's still undecided.
Seripides takes out her water flask and pours a little bit of water on the two flowers that are not healthy.
Okay.
It just starts raining from the sky.
Yes! No. And kind of like a starting at the center and then blossoming outwards, you see just kind of like a rippling glow as the water is kind of absorbed into it. And you think that this simple act of offering is enough to give the flower what it needed to realize its potential. And both the darkness, the light, and the twilight, they kind of lessen in intensity and blend into one another, and the three flowers, instead of being kind of rooted in place at the lid, kind of coalesce into just one. And as this magical activity kind of winds down, you see that the sky is back to its normal twilight state, approaching dusk. And right when you are expecting it to reset, like it has been for the past hour, maybe 2 hours, you notice that instead of resetting, it stays, and it continues to fade into a deep periwinkle. And you see the edges of the sky in the darkness and twinkle with a few stars hidden behind clouds.
Serpides puts away her watering can and goes, fucking plants.
You fixed it.
Well, pretty near everything needs water.
True.
That's what she
Grow
says.
your crops, grow your friendships.
Grow your friendships.
A
Grow your crops. Grow your friendships.
Indeed.
So like them.
Shall we long rest?
I should say.
I think that's a good
Yeah.
plan.
That sounds great. As you all long rest, you may
Are we
gain.
setting a watch?
Yes, tell me about that. Are you setting a watch?
So what Inoki will do is it like describe the terrain around. Is it like flat or is it like open grass or?
So I can't even say level in when I'm typing. So
That's fine.
you are kind of up on a hill almost, and the ruins started on one end of the hill and went down into the amphitheater on the other side. So it's kind of like a
Is it the
like
hill leading
grassy-
up to?
yeah, it's the hill from the forest leading up to the ruins, along the road that you came on from where you left off the mushroom hunters. It's mostly surrounded by just grass and maybe an occasional tree.
So what Inoki is going to do is I'm going to use mold earth to kind of make like a small encampment kind of, because Inoki's not used to being underneath the sky,
Okay,
and so
just kind of
it
scooping
would
it.
it would kind of like mold the earth to be over its head, and seeing everyone around, it just thinks, well, nobody wants to be underneath the sky, so it would mold like a similar thing for everybody.
Okay, like one each or one big one?
Probably one big one, because Inoki would kind of want to watch its companions to learn more about them, and
Okay.
yeah, just to understand what's going on and what it's become a part of.
Just
Okay.
visualizing like a dirt igloo.
Kind of.
Yeah,
I dig it.
indeed. So
Nice.
as you
Oh, that was
I dig it.
good.
Yeah, that was
I
that
never
was a
do it
pretty
on
good one.
purpose.
Yeah, you get an inspiration.
Ah.
As you guys set up for your camps and decide who is going to take watch, I would like to congratulate you all on making it to level 3.
Ooh.
So let's take a little bit of time leveling up your characters. D&D Beyond is a maze, and I'm going to use the bathroom and return real quick. But I'm gonna leave the stream up.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
We are Joy.
What?
You heard her.
We get to level up.
Yeah,
I don't know
level
what
up.
to do with this.
You don't
So,
have
man,
to. You have the option to. You can wait till after the
watch us
stream, or you
just
can
enjoy.
continue the last bit of the game with a level 3 character.
I mean,
Okay. I will
can
also
work on this.
be back super fast.
I'm yeah.
Wait. Where is my?
I just need to look for spells now, because that's all I get, really.
Oh, yeah,
Choose a bardic college, and I'm not prepared.
Oh, I know what I'm getting. Oh, man, I have spells.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of this pathed out for like the first 10 levels, but I have to find
Do
it.
you really?
I
Yeah.
already knew what I was getting.
With this character, I haven't pathed out anything because I didn't expect to live this long.
Honestly, you may not live much longer.
Well, they changed
I
D&D
don't know.
I was
Beyond.
expecting it.
Yeah, apparently they changed the UI.
I hate it.
So that's it wasn't just me because I got on the thing. I was like, "Where's all my stuff?"
Yeah, no, it's not just you.
There it is. There's my baby. Bark skin.
Nice.
That's the only thing I get at this level. I get nothing else.
Well,
nice.
when I ride on you, you also have spark skin.
Woo! No, but that basically takes my armor class from 10 to 16.
Das is good.
Yeah.
Well, now I gotta print all this back out.
Sparks, can you wear me as armor?
I feel like the DM would think that's pushing it, but that
I
sounds like
think so. It sounds like
Some way to
like
punish you.
18 or 19.
There we go.
you wouldn't be very stealthy if that happened.
Ooh, I just get 2 second-level spells.
What?
I would look like a stealth.
Ooh, I do get other fun things.
Yeah, I get two spell slots or level 2 spells.
Oh.
My
Total of
AC is totally the same.
Oh yeah, that's not going to change unless you get items really, or your dex goes up. But Miss Toll of the Bell, I have a fun spell that's part of my druid. Gentle Repose.
I believe I have that one as well.
Yeah,
That
that's
sounds-
also a cleric spell.
Yeah.
Do I have it on me? Wait. I've read it. How does that one read? Read it to me.
You touch a corpse or other remains. For the duration, the target is protected from decay and cannot become undead.
Okay, that's why I know this. There is a spell that I have that is essentially the meat and potatoes of the Grave Domain Cleric.
It's very similar to that.
Spare the Dying.
Yep. Okay.
Mm.
It reads... touch a living creature has 0 hit points, becomes stable. Wait. Or maybe General Repose was one that I had on my rogue.
It's a necromancy spell, so.
Possible. Basically, it's they don't die. Get some cool shit as a Grave Domain Cleric. I'm kind of excited about it, but you gotta die first, so let's see what happens.
I'm okay with death. I get something to eat then.
It's a snack. What is death but just a great snack?
It's a Noki snack.
Noki Noms.
Nom 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 nom.
Our other merch brand that we love.
Nomkies?
Oh my. Yeah, if one of you could just die, that would be great.
So I can be awesome. It would be great.
So this is what level 3 is like. Aren't you glad you got to make it to here, Sparks?
Yeah, I was saying you didn't think we'd make it this far.
Yeah, Shiny was like, I have all the next 10 levels of this character planned out. I was like, I never planned out anything for this character. I just expected him to die at any point in this campaign.
That's very, like, in character, though, for both of your characters.
Yeah.
It's true. She probably does have the next 10 years of her
long-term
life
plan.
plotted out.
Dude, the first character I ever played in D&D was a halfling rogue. He got kicked around a lot.
Maybe
Girls pretty
DMs
well
just
taught
like to
them.
beat up halflings.
You're not wrong.
It's because they're so small and they've got all that fast twitch muscle. They're basically just white meat and very lean. Quite tasty.
Lean and tasty.
I really wish that you're drinking Slurp just then, because that would have been the perfect punctuation on that. Yeah.
It is red. It is a red liquid.
I feel like Beltol isn't a blood drinker. That'd probably be a little bit weird.
It's
Taster,
just little
yes.
beak
But
things.
drinker, no.
Beltol's a good bird.
I'm a
But
good
but a curious bird.
Mm,
I feel like Beltol would have no trouble drinking blood if it were part of a particular person's like ritual for for the
if it was
funeral.
something required of them to pay the proper praises, it would happen. No questions asked.
But at the same time, the opposite would be true too. Like, would never consider it if it wasn't part of their system, because then it'd be like super, like in their
Absolutely.
face.
I'm all leveled.
Okay. Yeah, how are you guys all feeling? Did everyone choose to level right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine was pretty straightforward.
And long rested.
Yes, and long rested.
Oh,
Get
okay.
that
I had something I wanted to do
HP
before
and
then,
spells.
but
Okay, what did you want to do?
oh, just my character took a rest, kind of sitting against the wall, and offered to do first watch.
Okay,
That was it.
lovely.
Yeah, and I trance, so I only need the 4 hours. I can also take a watch.
Okay. So that's 2 of 3 watches.
Serpides
Beltol's,
take a
or
watch.
sorry, I said Beltol, but my character's not Beltol. I was gonna say a Whip is always up pretty early, so he'd be fine with the last watch.
Okay, sounds good. Then you guys are covered. I will roll some dice.
You probably never want Sparks taking a watch in this game. You probably wouldn't find him when you walk up. Like, where'd he go?
No, that's the nice part about the Noki chair is that once he settles in, he's not getting out.
I don't think he sleeps in that though. I don't think he wants to sleep in that.
I don't think you'd get a choice. I think what would happen is one night suddenly the Noki would notice you wandering off, and he might just clip you upside the head to knock you out, and then just kind of rest well, little one.
So, are you wanting to attempt to knock him out?
No. No.
This is just something that will probably happen eventually.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Eventuality.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's canon in
Just
the next game.
had to be clear.
How does roll initiative? How does the healing work on long rest? Do you just roll your hit dice or something like that?
Are you using D&D Beyond?
Mm-hmm.
So if you click on your character icon / name area, you'll have kind of a drop down menu. Let me make sure this is still true since they just did an update.
Yeah, it's
No, the character sheets are the same.
Okay.
If you look in the upper right hand corner, it says long rest.
Yeah, you can click a long
the
rest
button.
button, and then you'll click confirm to lock it in, and it will automatically reset all the long rest related stuff that you've used.
Okay, interesting. But it didn't up my hit points at all. Maybe that's because I
No, but
You
what
have
you
to
can do is
confirm.
Yep. No, you have to roll the hit dice. It does not do that
for
automatically.
a long rest.
in a long
Correct.
rest, you recover your health automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a short rest, you use your hit dice.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should,
Okay.
if you're doing it correctly, you should
Yeah.
regain your stuff.
Mm.
And if it's still not working, maybe someone else can help. I don't know.
It's all good.
Okay. Did you get it?
Yep.
Okay. Sweet. So the night passes pretty much uneventfully. It is on Aurora's shift. I almost said Shiny, and I was like, Shiny has another name in this game. Yeah, who's Shiny? Aurora's watch. You notice, Aurora, that the druid kind of picks himself up, gives you a nod, and begins to walk down the hill away from the camp.
Okay, yeah, you done with us, bud?
I'll see you again.
Okay, well, have fun. She just kind of waves.
Have fun storming the castle.
One
I
does
think I
not.
saw that guy in The Legend of Zelda.
Probably, you've probably seen all of these NPCs in The Legend of Zelda, knowing me.
This is the guy. This is the guy in the
My
first case.
God.
It's old man.
Okay, so yeah, the night passes most uneventfully. That was the main takeaway.
Good grief.
You good? Did I say something?
No, I just saw Tirathon just suddenly chug his.
Oh,
Ridiculously sized water bottle.
Yes.
I have a funny story about
Sorry.
that for table tag.
I need water.
Yeah, water's important, as we saw in this game.
I think during the time that she's doing her watch while she's keeping an eye on things, she'll switch. She's going to be switching seasons at the end of her rest or whatever. So she'll be switching out her companion.
Okay,
her
sounds
little
good.
mechanical again.
And you are switching seasons on this rest? Okay. Sweet. Sounds good. So you wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. That was a Kesha song reference.
Yes.
And the morning light is refreshing. And it's good to see that the sky is doing the thing that skies normally do. And you notice on whoever first emerges from your kind of outcropping that Anoki shaped for you all to sleep in should you choose to. You notice that the ruins that once were prominent enough for you to explore are kind of sunken into the earth, and it looks like it has almost never even been disturbed by you at all. And it just blends in with the landscape.
Oh, I'm glad we didn't stay in there.
Yeah, we would have been a few feet under.
So where do you guys want to direct yourselves next?
Before we start going, was one long rest long enough to learn more, get better understanding about these items, these tokens?
Yes. And so the message that I sent to our chat has the basic items. If I had sent you more information, then like if I had already sent you all the information because you used a spell like identify, then I'll send you more about it after this stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So when everybody does wake up, you might notice that Aurora, though having the same overall appearance, looks a lot different. She's switched seasons into spring, so it's more, I think her hair is green. She's got lots more colorful little like buds and little flowers and stuff on her, and she's got a mechanical weasel with her now instead of her cat.
So I think Deirdre wakes up and she's still sitting there, but she sees Aurora and her eyes just light up and she's like, Is this spring?
Yeah, I apparently with having so many new friends, it's put me in a very good mood.
I love it. You look
She still has the
even
flower
better
crown.
than before.
Oh, thanks. And she just blushes.
Whip is trying to talk to the weasel.
He would be attentive. It's Blossom, but the weasel, if you're talking to it, what are you trying to say to him?
Nothing in particular. So this is using the druid trait. Let me find it again. There's a special name for it, and I have to find it in my stuff. This is called Speech of the Woods. Beasts can understand my speech, and I gain the ability to decipher their noises and motion. And being a Kenku, I imagine that the way this works is that Whip is also making the noises of whatever kind of creature it is. So he's making weasel sounds at Blossom, and just kind of like, "Hey, how are you? You know, how was your night? How is it traveling with Aurora? That sort of thing."
I want you to do that in the Breezy voice.
I shan't. In part because I'm not saying words, I'm making weasel sounds.
So
And
what does the weasel sound sound like?
Amy specifically said that she's Italian, so she's allowed to do that voice. I'm not Italian, so I'm not allowed.
You can make your own wheezy voice.
Yeah, we need to
Yes.
know what the breeze.
What is your Breezy voice?
This is DM telling you that I need to know.
Now I have to actually think about that.
That's better than inspiration for me. I'll take that any day.
Yeah.
Hey buddy, how's it going?
Oh my god.
Cupcake's face was priceless too.
Also like traveling with Aurora.
I'm terrified at this too. Please, I need an adult.
I need an adult.
Oh no.
I can't keep doing
Cut
that.
the process.
It'll kill our DM.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, I'll let Boots adjudicate it. Technically, it still has beast-like and weasel-like mannerisms and everything, but it's a fey spirit, so I don't know how you want that spell to work, Boots. But
Yeah.
it still would try to communicate back and like dance around and stuff and Twitter at you.
It's got Twitter?
Shut up! I'll go make a Twitter right now.
So it calls me something I won't repeat and blocks me.
Oh.
He's she's a very friendly weasel.
I'm gonna
Except for
say. It probably, if it was to communicate, would communicate verbally in the way that its form is taking shape, which is very different from how it communicates with you, Aurora, because you have the mental bond, so you can just understand it. But I'll say it can do a weasel since it's in weasel form. Yeah. So it can understand. Yeah.
Okay. So it would, it probably talks super fast and just spews out a bunch of information all at once. That,
And what does that sound like?
I don't do voices.
No, it's too late.
No, if you really don't want to, I don't mind.
She would just probably talk really fast, and it might be high pitched, which I can't do. But I'm trying to think of what she would say. That everything's really good. Whenever I'm here, everything's super happy. We party a lot. We have a lot of fun. We meet a lot of new friends. And goes on and on. I really only hang out with her when she's excited, though. She has other.
Oh no! Oops. Abnormalizing some of the matrices.
Huzzah!
But like
This is the third time it's crashed
Install
today.
Boots.
No.
I'm,
Boots, boots, here's the boot.
I'm about right frustrated. Yeah, I will have to figure out what's wrong with my internet or
I
something.
mean, Discord's being naughty tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
We're not the only ones.
Really,
Celtic
really living
naughty.
up to its name.
You missed it. I did the best voice there ever was.
It was amazing,
It
and
was
then
amazing.
we all agreed that it was okay if she never did it again. So
So no one will ever
Yeah.
hear it again.
Okay, well,
God.
I'll hold it in my heart.
I would like to, while they're going through this, I would like to kind of go off away from the group
Okay.
and test out my new pet.
All right. So, tell me what it looks like. How do you activate
said-
this?
So you said it's a dragonfly?
Yeah,
It's a
it is a
horsefly.
horsefly.
A horsefly. Okay, that's okay. So I mean it's a magical item, and most magical items want to be used.
Yes, it does.
So I just let it flow through me and say, like, how do I summon it? And what it tells me is to just hold it out and blow on it like it's flowing on the wind. Really, Cupcake?
Yeah, she's not the dirty one though.
Yeah.
No. I was just thinking we could name it Schubert. Shoefly? No?
No.
You're such a goober. I like
That was
it.
me
It's
getting
good.
excited.
Well, yeah, except I can't talk. So the only thing I can do is intuit it to make it to summon it. So
Yeah,
Okay.
is that sufficient, Dungeon Master?
Yeah. I think your
Okay.
form of communication, it doesn't have a mind per se, but it does have
Mhm.
kind of like a will, and so you
Okay.
manage to kind of
Awaken it.
awaken it. There you go. And
Now,
have kind of a
is-
conversational relationship with it.
That's so fly.
So,
Ah.
These puns are really bugging me, you guys.
let-
You know what that
Oh.
means? Oh!
you will all be collected
Oh.
soon.
Okay, you guys
That is
both
what
get
Nokia says.
inspirations, but you
Nokia
have
is
to.
saying that to the players, not the characters.
You come collect
You shan't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway,
the boots again.
so we did, I think. So, is the creature that I summoned the same size as the statue?
Oh no. You awaken this statue, and
Mhm.
you it wants to be set on the ground.
Okay, so I put it down. I take a step back.
And it begins to expand. This becomes a fly so giant that you think you could probably ride on it, even despite your height.
Giant fly.
Giant fly.
Giant horsefly.
Giant horsefly.
Yep.
Horsefly
in the sky.
mount.
I can
You
go
know,
Does
to
it
horsefly.
bite?
Sting
Can it
you?
do a bite?
Not a horsefly.
Bite?
It's not a horsefly. What is it? It's a dragonfly, right?
No, it is a horsefly. It was
Okay.
Celtic, not a horsefly.
Oh my god.
Not comma horsefly.
Criminals.
How far away
All
did
of you.
you summon this thing?
I took like 5, like I probably went like on the other side of the berm/cave that I summoned for everyone, just so maybe I'm a little bit out of sight. But you would probably hear it something after it being summoned. Like so, I'm sure this thing has a buzz to it once it's summoned that everyone in the area can hear.
But is it flying? If it's just standing there.
Oh, it's still gonna go. Zzz, zzz.
It's doing what you tell it to do. So depends on what you
And so
want it to.
I will will it to go have a fly
Okay.
and just kind of buzz around.
Yeah. So, whereas an actual horsefly does have kind of like a strong sound, this is more of a series of like clicks because it is still ebony.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah. I can't do the sound with my mouth, but I know exactly what I'm thinking of. Yeah, but like on fast forward 2 times on YouTube. So there you go. Machine gun
Gunfire.
noise. Yeah.
Motorcycle.
It has a
It you know, a motorcycle is not a bad analogy. It sounds like motorcycle.
Yeah.
Your fly sounds like a motorcycle.
It's a motorcycle.
So when it goes to
Okay.
take off, it's like
It's a horsepower fly.
Oh
Can
no!
we give the DM inspiration?
How fast is that?
Bad joke.
She doesn't need it.
I
She
think
can
she
kill us
should.
all. She can kill us all whenever
deserves
she wants. And so can I like think to it? Do you have a name?
Schubert.
The response he sends back from it is ambivalent. Just ambivalence.
Okay.
It's like meh.
That's a good name.
It just doesn't
It's
really
not.
have one. Yeah.
Ambi.
And then so I'll think back to it. I will call you Tabano.
Okay.
That sounds delicious, but this is not delicious.
I know.
Don't yuck people's yums.
You don't know.
You don't
It might be
know.
delicious.
I would not eat a fly.
There's cultures
You
that
probably
have
definitely-
fly burgers.
Oh,
Have
I am
you-
sure, and I am not. I'm gonna let them have their pleasure.
Everyone
you-
who has an outside meat market has a fly burger.
Have you ever had lobster?
No.
It's like a roach. I know what these
Just
things
saying.
are.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It's
Let us
like the
carry on.
lobsters of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a dark lobster.
I am suddenly on a much different diet.
And so then
Yeah.
I'll have Tabano land with me and next to me. And do I think it can carry me?
Yeah, you think so.
Is it going to be a comfortable ride with these wings beating around me, or is it? Do I think it'd be fine?
It is rideable. In the
Yeah, it is.
in the manual, it says it's rideable. In the instruction manual that comes with it, signed off by the manufacturer.
Okay, I'm gonna hop on, and I'm gonna go for a fly, because Noki's never flown, but does have no idea what's going on, but just
Your-
thinks it's the coolest thing.
Your cap
Flying
kind
on
of
mushrooms.
like the like what's it called, the hair, like the hairs underneath the cap, What's this called?
Would it be like gills?
the gills. Yeah, the gills are like ruffled by the breeze as you fly.
It's
Funny,
it's
That's
very.
how-
it's a
good.
mushroom that gets you high.
Haha.
God
So
bless
does-
you, Caltranon.
Does he get way
Got it.
better passive perception because he's basically one of those flying radar planes with like the big dish on the top?
Well, we'll talk about it.
He's
Well, I'll
like
tell you
dusting
what.
his spores over everyone.
Oh yeah.
Crop dusting.
So does that mean my sound goes from to?
Yes.
I think that is an excellent place to stop the stream.
Everyone's tired tonight. It was my
Uh-huh.
turn.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, this is Celtic Knot. Thank you for watching the stream. We will return very shortly to do a little table talk. Might run it a little bit shorter because our game ran a little bit longer. But yeah, we will see you again in 2 weeks. I have to check the date. It's going to be March 12th. So, yeah, everybody have a good one, and may the wind ever be at your back. We will return
Yay.
very soon. Woohoo! We're back. Where's the right thing? Aha!
Aha.
Thank you, everybody. We are returning to the show. This is Celtic Knot. So,
It's getting naughty.
yeah, Cupcake, what is this augury spell that you were looking at?
So when we upped to level 3, I played a cleric before, so I'm going through it. I'm like, cleric spells. This is kind of confusing. But I found one when I was trying to find other level 1 spells. It's level 2. And augury, it is a self-cast, instantaneous. Takes me duration is instantaneous, but it's a 1-minute cast. By casting gem inlaid sticks, rolling dragon bones, laying out ornate cards, or employing some other divining tool, I receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. It doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as casting additional spells, or the loss or gain of a companion. If I cast the spell 2 or more times before completing my next long rest, there's a cumulative 25% chance after each casting after the first that you get a random reading. The DM makes this roll in secret. So you get a little more ha. And it chooses from the following omens: wheel for good results, woe for bad results, wheel and woe for both, and nothing for results that aren't especially good or bad.
That's gonna be really interesting.
So you just gave our dungeon master more unlimited power.
Ah!
It's very it's on brand, and that's honestly
is.
like
Yeah.
when we were talking
definitely
about
is.
special powers, kind of what I wanted for Beltol anyways, and didn't realize it was actually a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I have never used it on my cleric because it's so out of character for him, but it's a really interesting spell.
I haven't used it either, but I've only played a cleric once. So, not totally surprised.
The
Sounds
having
pretty cool,
all
though.
of the spells and then being able to pick new ones at a long rest is very confusing to me.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Mm-hmm. It's very different from the classes that sort of like pick spells to learn when they level up and then only have those spells.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah.
choosing a new major at the end of every term.
Mm-hmm.
Been there, done that. Do not recommend.
I think it's kind of cool though, because then it gives you options from the standpoint of being like, okay, what do I think I'll need tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What
It makes
did
it
I
a little
not
bit
have?
easier to like specialize for a specific situation.
Yeah.
Without feeling like then you're useless like the next time around if it's a completely different situation. But it also like takes a little bit more effort at a long rest, and there are some trade-offs for that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then you can learn spells from like other like classes if I go and get books or something like that, right?
There are ways to learn spells outside of your
Yeah.
outside of cleric spells in your domain, but I think it's a little bit more limited than it is for like wizards who just kind of if they find a spell they can learn it.
Yeah. It's also possible that like you'll come across things on the journey that will let you get extra things that don't normally come within your class building stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Maybe you hang out with this mysterious druid that I don't think you did. I don't even know if you guys know his name.
I asked that in chat.
I did, but
Yeah, I don't think any of us ever asked.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to go back and look.
I'll have to look at the second episode again and see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
So you're saying he has a name and you didn't pull a Jerry?
So, if I did name him last game, I didn't write it down. But between the time of last game and this game, I have a name for him. I just don't know if it's the same one.
I'm pretty confident, like 95% sure that no one asked his name last time.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I also
I don't
think-
know.
Really bad at asking for names.
I don't think anyone did.
It's
I
pretty
mean,
funny.
the first two people to encounter him were Ceripides and Whip, and neither of them would have thought to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name is Whiffmid.
Oh my god. Really?
Such a good one.
So I feel like this game was a lot of like me just describing the setting doing things. And
Isn't that
it's
what a
just-
dungeon master does?
Yeah, but it was just different. It's been a long time since I did like a campaign, so I now have like time to do that, and it does make me a little bit nervous that I'm like, oh, am I talking too much? Am I saying too many words? But it seemed
No,
like
it's all been great.
still
Yeah, it
got
was all
some
good.
stuff done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm curious. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, and it's mostly just been us kind of role playing. We haven't done, a lot of stuff that you needed to not be describing. So we've kind of put a lot
It's
of
true.
that on you.
It has been a lot of
Yeah.
roleplay. Yeah, and that's what I appreciate about you.
Is
Is
that what you appreciate about me? Oh, hey, look, the ground.
What?
He said, "Oh, look, the ground."
Oh.
Yeah.
You're
I was
grounded.
gonna say, oh, so what was your guys'
Should I go to my room?
MVP for this night?
The three
flower.
golden flowers, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know. I kind of like the sky.
The sky. Well, I think
Yeah,
it's
the
linked.
The rippling of the sky, like the sky ripples, I think is
Uh-huh.
That was
what was
really
really
neat.
cool.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
fair.
I think
So-
the scything of the flowers, ending everything and turning into a giant birdie was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it
that was very
cool.
followed
That was
right
pretty
by Caldronon's epic cut and grab.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he
those-
ended that
Speedway.
shit real fast.
Yeah.
Mm,
That I was not anticipating that, honestly.
and it's funny, like at the end of last session, I had fully not expected that encounter to involve combat. Like I know we were still in initiative order, but I didn't expect I didn't get the clues that we were dealing with like a plant monster.
Yeah, something
So
attackable.
I thought it was still just going to be like like do things to solve the puzzle situation.
Is it bad
then-
if we ask what the hell was that?
I'm just trying to think
We
if I
not-
want to
if
tell
we
you.
don't need to know, or can't.
It's
know,
just
that's
it's
fine.
fun to know, so why not? Let's just let you know. I will. I'm not look it up because I just linked it. It's called a yellow musk creeper. And
That's okay. Because I looked that up for our game too.
they're really annoying. So
Yeah.
basically, the flower attracts things and charms creatures, but the fronds, their basic, like their average damage is 13
Mm-hmm.
psychic
Does that
damage.
mean if you destroy the flowers, it won't attract things anymore?
Yeah, probably.
That's kind of cool. I like
Could
that.
do that.
mechanic. I was expecting that it was going to be some sort of like trap situation. We are going to have to like try and like back off and figure out how to like get to the flowers or something. I didn't think it was going to be combat either, really.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
objects have hit points. So it was less that it was like a monster that was gonna like move or chase or dodge or anything. It has like a -4 dexterity. It's not going anywhere. But the trick is like, how do you get the flowers without touching anything else on the plant? It's like just a dangerous poisonous plant that has a lot of hit points because it's just big.
Mm-hmm.
This is where Mage
then-
Hand would be a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I saw
Like,
someone say that in
was
chat.
what I was gonna do, but then you guys had killed it by the time it got to my turn.
Oh,
Yeah, we
Like I was all ready, and
overcame.
then it was like, okay.
We
It was
overcame
more
the power
efficient
of
that way.
friendship.
Yeah, way to bring in some god power
Oh, shit.
to solve your problems.
Yeah.
That was a big white bird.
Yeah, that
That
was
was
really
really-
cool though.
That was a big badass burp.
Yeah.
Bong calling in the big.
Yep. Can't trust a bong. Who can you trust?
Magnificence.
It's true.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So I'm excited to see how you guys leveled up your characters, and as always with character level ups, if you have questions or want to pick my brain or see if something is okay, you can always message me, and we can work on it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good, Bob.
Right.
Yep.
I think this is
Fine.
a good place to end our stream. March, we will continue this this pattern of every other week that we're doing, and then in April, I would like to change it to offset it a little bit, so I'm not doubling up on my orcs, and Celtic Knot weeks so much. So yeah, we'll be talking about that, and there will definitely be an announcement made when we have figured out which week is going to get offset, and we'll be just sharing that and posting it places so that no one is caught by surprise. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. Thank you for your bits. You guys are all the best, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.